then drop out of placement and not even go for the final round of interviews with Hindustan Lever. So what he began to do was he began to make offers across the table even before the final interview if he liked somebody. And he would make an offer and said that, and said, walk with me to placement office and drop out of placement and not go for your next interview with Citibank. Now, this is completely against placement rules. Okay, and that year, there was a lot of chaos. The entire placement process was disrupted because of this. The Citibank guys found out, they were upset, they almost came to blows with the Hindustan Lever people, and all of that happened. Now, from that, I got my first product idea, my first business idea. I said to myself that, look, if somebody were to do a salary survey of what companies were paying fresh MBAs out of campus, it would be a useful product and companies would buy it. Because I said if you can compete like this, where you break rules and you almost get into a fight just to recruit the right talent, you will definitely want to know about what other companies are offering as salaries on campus. And that was our first product a year later. We did a salary survey, we wrote to companies, and it was a huge success. I mean, huge in those days meant we sold a few lakhs worth, right? And that was a 95% margin product, money in advance. And on that basis, we started the company. The second product or second service that we launched was a trademark search service. So my former partner, business partner, had done an internship with a trademark law firm, and asked to go to the trademark registry office to do a trademark search. Now, essentially the thing was that trademarks. The problem was that the government of India would take 5 years to want to wait 5 years before launching. So, and one big reason for rejection of your trademark application was that and if you launched and you got rejected, you would spend crores of rupees and you had to change your name. So companies wanted an early warning. So they would send in lawyers into the trademark registry to inspect the record of past applications, which is open for public inspection. So Kapil, my former partner, he went there and he came back saying, this is registered and pending trademarks in India. Across 34 categories, the same where there's the maximum chance of a conflict. And the problem is that this record is not maintained on computer. 2 pages to a trademark application in reverse chronological order. So, in order to do a trademark search in pharmaceuticals, you got to do this 1,60,000 times. Right? And for this, the lawyers doing it are paid 150 rupees. So there is no way this process is going to be reliable. And if we are going to be if we can perhaps just transcribe the pharmaceutical record, take it out and put it in a computer and sell a search on a database on a computer, this service will be very useful. What we did, yeah? No. He's saying he can't hear me. We need the volume to go up. Yeah. I'm sorry. Is this better now? No. I'm so sorry. Maybe I was standing in the wrong place. And what we did was, we took out the pharmaceutical record, we sent in college kids, they transcribed the record. Not been to do a trademark search at the Trademark Registry Library, he would never have got the idea of a trademark search service. So if you look at the way the idea of Naukri came, it came from a simple observation. I was working in a company called HMM, which is now called GlaxoSmithKline, and we were in the marketing department in an open hall, 8, 10 of us. And I used to observe when the office copy of Business India would come in, everybody would read it from the back, because they used to be 35 to 40 pages of appointment ads at the back of the magazine. And I used to observe this, and I used to find it very strange that I thought people bought and read magazines for the articles, not for the advertisements. But clearly, jobs was a high-interest category of information. And it was this insight, 7 years later, that led me to the idea of Naukri when I saw the internet for the first time. That jobs are a high-interest category of information. If you aggregate all the jobs and put them in one place, you will get traffic without having to advertise. And when we launched Naukri, we took free jobs from newspapers and magazines, and we launched the site, and we got traffic, and gradually we began to charge for listings. And that's how Naukri started. So once again, an observation of a customer or prospective customers. That wasn't me. An observation about a customer or prospective customer. And from that, you get a product idea. An observation about what? An observation about an unsolved problem. One last story, and then I'll end. So, in 2010, we invested in a company that is now called Zomato. At that time, it was called Foodie. And when I met Deepinder Goyal, this founder and CEO, I asked him, "Ye idea kahan se aaya?" Okay. He said, "Look, I used to work at Bain Consulting in Gurgaon. And in that office, there were maybe 30, 40, 50 people. So they wouldn't get lunch from home. The office had a cafeteria, but they wouldn't serve food. You could get your own food and eat it there. So to make things easy for the employees, admin team had got restaurants who would deliver, and in a file had put them all there. And what would happen was, it would be a long line at 1 o'clock to access that file. So one Sunday, Deepinder came in, and he scanned the entire file and put it on his homepage on the office intranet. And 2 days later, from that, he got the idea that there is value in menus. Because the behavior began to aggregate menu cards of restaurants from around the city and put them on the net. And that's how Zomato was started. Today, unicorn. India from the back, small beginning. Today, it's a listed company. unsolved problems and see what you can do to solve an unsolved problem for your respective CASA. If you
Thank you very much, sir, and our apologies for that intervening buzzer there, which was not intended at all. But thank you very much, sir, for sharing your pearls of perspectives. I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Tumari.
I am PC Mustafa. I come from a very remote village in a place called Wayanad in Kerala. We had no electricity in my village, and we had no roads in my village. My dad was a coolie. As my dad was finding it difficult to meet both ends of the family, I ended up doing coolie job at the age of 10. I had to walk 6 kilometers daily to my school. And my biggest motivation factor was the government's midday meal scheme. 3-time meal was a dream during my childhood days. Breakfast was a luxury. I was very poor in my studies. I was a school dropout. I failed in 6th standard. I later went back to school. I became a school topper. I then did my engineering in computer science from NIT Calicut. After seeing my campus offer, monthly salary offer, my dad felt it was my annual package because it was actually more than his lifetime saving. He cried seeing my first month's salary because he had never seen that kind of money in his lifetime. I then worked with few MNCs in India, Europe, and Middle East. I decided to come back to India with an objective of creating employment for rural kids. I then did my MBA from IIM Bangalore. I then co-founded a company called ID along with my cousins. Today, I am CEO of a company called ID Fresh Food, a 1,000 crore fresh food brand, serving world's best breakfast, idlis, to 1 million Indians every single day. So how did this coolie boy become CEO of a 1,000 crore fresh food brand? How did the school dropout ended up doing his MBA from IIM Bangalore? In the next 15 minutes, I will share 3 short stories with you. And I hope these messages will help you in your entrepreneurial journey. So here goes my 3 stories and 3 messages. My first story is about a disruptive innovation, the story of Vada. We helped mothers to make world's best idli at home. Vada is a crunchy, deep fried snack. It looks like a savory donut, circular disc with a hole in the center. Vada goes best with idli because in South India, we have breakfast as idli vada. Kids like vada. It's a great snack, but it's one of the most difficult snack to make at home. Vada started disappearing from Indian homes, including my home. So we wanted to help mothers to make world's best vada. This journey started 3 years ago. Vada batter consistency was a challenge. But we, being an expert in batter making, we were able to solve it quickly. Even if I provide vada batter to a homemaker, she still won't be able to make vada at home. It's a messy job. And vada batter is sticky as Fevicol. Vada making is still an art. You can't get the size right. You cannot get the shape right. When I talk to ladies in my office, they were able to cook vada at home if they get proper vada batter. But then they had no idea how to get a hole in between. And South Indians will not eat vada without a hole in between. Most importantly, the new generation homemakers like us will end up frying fingers rather than frying the vada. This is a century-old problem. We identified it. We then started working to solve it. We talked to industry experts, including engineers from IITs. They were not able to help us. We then used the most important ingredient for innovation, called common sense. ID's new vada pack helps you make homemade vadas at home in the proper shape and proper size, just like expert-made vadas, without touching the batter, with a proper hole in the middle. And that too 100% natural, no chemicals, no preservatives, no artificial flavors. So today, everybody can vada. Now it takes just 1 minute for a homemaker to make vada at home. It was not an easy job. It took us 3 years to build it. We didn't lose the hope. Many in the team suggested dropping this project, but then we were confident to solve it. I'm sure you're all curious to know about this magical vada pack. Vada making is a science now, not an art anymore. Let us see it in action. This video was created for this event. It was not a commercial. Unfortunately or fortunately, this video got leaked last Thursday. And it went viral in no time. I hope at least some of you would have seen this vada video. Can I request you to play that vada video?
This is no ordinary snack, a South Indian specialty. It's a favorite in homes across India, but its circular cylindrical shape and donut-like hole make it fairly difficult to prepare at homes. It needs the expert hands of grandmas and aunts or even restaurant cooks. Not anymore. ID decided to turn its attention on this age-old problem and transform the complex art of vada making into a science for everyone. And the key ingredient? Common sense. A path-breaking, little big invention. The spout that shapes batter into vadas with the hole. And that's it. Squeeze, shape, cut, fry. Handmade, but with no mess, no stress. Just delicious, crispy vadas. ID, maker of India's favorite batters and fresh food, presents Vada Batter in a pack that shapes batter into vadas. Now, everybody can vada.
Yes, we mean it. Everybody can vada. Techies like you call it 3D printing of vada. World call it innovation. And we call it common sense. Because common sense is the most ingredient for innovation. My first message to you is look around. Identify such issues. And use common sense to solve it. Do not complicate. That's the best way to stay ahead of competition. My second message to you is about shortcuts and compromises in life. All of us have a tendency to take shortcuts in life. This story happened to me in summer of 2008. We had started ID and we were doing a revenue of 1 crore business per year. I had quit a well-paid job and was drawing a very small salary from ID because ID could not afford to pay me more. We had huge expenses to purchase rice and dal and to pay salary for employees. It was a very tough situation to live in. This was just 9 years ago. It was very tough to live in Bangalore with that kind of income, with family. We needed more capital to expand the business. We didn't have the fund. And we didn't want to take interest-based loan because it was against my ethical principles. The only option was to sell more using available vehicles. So we started trying some new products. We started 2 snacks. One was called Rose Cookies and another one was called Diamond Cuts. And Diamond Cuts had 2 flavors, chili and sweet. It was doing okay in the market. And we were still doing 1 crore revenue per year and I was still doing similar salary. I was finding it difficult to manage my expenses in Bangalore. One day I got a call from Taj Hotel. They wanted to buy thousands of kgs of chili Diamond Cuts from us. I was so excited. My entire team was energized. It was like a dream come true for an entrepreneur at that stage. My biggest problem was to live in Bangalore with that kind of a salary. Taj's first order value was actually more than our 6 months sales. We were all set to fulfill this order. It was a profitable deal which could have helped me to take home a salary of 1 lakh per month and manage my expenses. We were seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I was very curious to know about the usage of this thousands of kgs of Diamond Cuts for Taj. And this is what he told me. We are unique. We wanted to serve something special to our consumers. We wanted to serve it as a bar snack. Bar snack? I was confused. Do I want to promote liquor business by any chance? Is it the right thing to do for me? Should I be building a product to be an assistant to a chef in a bar counter? Or should I be doing something to help mothers at home? We didn't want to be part of the liquor industry. Our ethics were not aligned with the liquor industry. It was not an easy situation. I came back. We debated. On one hand, I had a huge order which would fulfill my immediate issues, which would solve my immediate issues. On the other hand, I had my value system. Business was conflicting with my value system. So we debated. And finally, with a broken dream, I took my phone and called Taj Chef. I told him, sir, unfortunately, we will not be able to fulfill this order. He was surprised. Okay. He asked, you rejected such a decent order from Taj? I then apologized to him and told him, sir, unfortunately, we will not be able to fulfill this order. I felt crying. I felt like crying, not because I lost the order. I felt crying because the Almighty God gave me the courage to take the toughest decision in the toughest time of my life. Looking back, it's one of the best decisions that we have taken. It helped us to focus on the most important part, which is building a fresh food brand targeting India's breakfast market. We didn't compromise on ethics. We avoided shortcuts. I'll be proud to narrate the story to my grandchildren one day. My dear friends, I know how easy it is for all of us to take shortcuts. Deep inside us, we want to reach somewhere faster, easier. In that journey, we end up making compromises. My sincere request to you is avoid shortcuts. Do not compromise. Let me tell you my last story. Next 3 minutes. The story of trust. How many of you believe that a product comes in a packed form is healthy? It has no chemicals, no preservatives. Very little. How many of you believe my product, ID, is natural? That's a common issue. People won't believe it. Even though my products are 100% natural, people won't believe it. They don't trust. Even though I was telling all the story, they still won't trust. Because anything in the packed form is considered as unhealthy by Indians. So we want to build trust with the customers. We tried many campaigns. It didn't work. So finally, we tried something different. What's the best way for someone to trust you? Trust them. So that they can trust you. Everyone in India felt that we cannot trust people. And we did this campaign to break the barrier. We set up 40 unmanned shops in 4 cities. We kept all ID fresh products in those chillers, stores. It had no salesman. It had no security. It had no cameras. It had no technology. It had no vending machine. There was no one watching it except the Almighty God. Customers were expected to open the chiller, take the product, deposit money in the money box kept next to it, go home and have dosa. Customers were surprised with the campaign. They couldn't believe it. It got us a great brand mileage. Our campaign video went viral. We were initially receiving monopoly currency from some stores. The same customers started paying us 500 rupee notes and later on and compensated for the losses that we made during this process. Indians are trustworthy. This idea was rated as the best marketing idea last year. We were trying to build a brand which touched the customers here, not just here. So when a plain solution doesn't work, think differently. Think simple ways to solve complicated problems. Trust others so that they can trust you. Let me summarize. Look around, identify burning issues, and use common sense to solve it. That is the best way to build a business and stay ahead of competition. Do not compromise. Avoid shortcuts and respect our Indian value system. Trust your customers. If you trust them, they will trust you. Take a leap of faith. It is such a coincidence that today a young boy who started working as a coolie in a remote village of Kerala and for whom having breakfast was a luxury, runs a campaign that runs a company that serves world's best breakfast to million Indians every day. It happens in India, only in India. Jai Hind. Before I end my speech, can I request you to play one video? I would like to leave you with this final message with the video. It's a tribute to the most important person in our life. Can you play the Khana Kaya? No, not this one, not this one. Khana khaya. Khana, yeah. We're done. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Just, no.
Hi, Ma.
बेटा खाना खा लिया?
Mama, meeting is just about to start.
Oh, okay. Good luck, बेटा. खाना खा लेना, okay?
Okay, Ma, talk later. Bye-bye.
Sorry, guys.
Hi, Ma.
Hi, बेटा. Work done?
Yeah, Ma. I'm going out अभी.
बेटा कुछ खा लेना.
हाँ, खा लूंगी. Okay, bye. Hi, Ma.
Breakfast किया ना आदि?
I'm running very late. And oh, I won't be coming home this weekend. Bye.
अबे. Hello, Adi.
Hi, Ma. Why are you calling so late?
बेटा एक call.
Ma, I'm very stressed at work. I can't talk right now. Anything urgent? Okay.
He's sure that you can do anything.
Ma, I called you so many times. Why didn't you pick up?
अभी sick, बेटा.
Ma, you've been sick and you didn't even tell me.
I didn't want to disturb you.
Ma, I'm very stressed at work. I can't talk right now. Anything urgent? Ma, आपने खाना खाया?
Thank you.
I'm going to now invite Mr. Tumaria to please present a token of gratitude to Mr. Mustafa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for that wonderful message and that wonderful idea. You know, audience, it might seem like I'll keep interrupting over here, but that's because we have a complete paucity of time, so I'm going to request the audience to bear with us, so as the speakers as well. So the next 10 minutes now, joining us, in fact, we have with us our next thought leader as well. He, in fact, has seen both sides of entrepreneurship, from an engineer to an entrepreneur to now a venture builder.